Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Strategic Command World at War as the Allies in the last month of the war, which potentially will end in 1944, as we are crushing Germany over here. So let's take the turn and see what they are going to do. We have the UK forces, we've got the US forces, we've got the Soviets all closing in on of what remains from Germany and some of the occupied territories. We've taken Hamburg, we've taken a couple of towns. Croatia will surrender, there we go. US gets a couple of points. Hungary surrenders, the US gets a couple of points. Quite some actually. And yeah, you can see just how little terrain Germany now has in the Balkans and in other countries. Turkey is further moved away from the Axis, so that is also very nice. Replicating Brest and Portugal. Surprising the Germans still have so many troops around. But yeah. We're being hit by rough seas, there's no biggie in that. I mean, it is 31st of December. USSR has better fighter weapons, which is nice, but at this point probably not necessarily required. There we go. Did finish to mop up some Germans over here in Italy, and I think soon we will be declaring war on Vichy France, because it really is a collaborative regime. But I'm also looking forward to freeing up France from the shackles of... oh, do you see that? German V-Waffen? Not artillery, rockets. Proper rockets. Strategic rockets. So they are reinforcing mostly. It's not a big surprise, but I don't think they will be able to do much. Interesting. How do you even spot me? How? That's cheating. You don't know where I am. Interceptors, yes, we are dealing some damage on them. And they didn't even provide escorts. They didn't even provide fighter escorts. So that is important. Yeah, and these rockets don't do too much damage. That shock army there. These armies trying to break out, but they're very thoroughly enclosed, so don't think they will be able to do that. And this Baltic pocket down here is shrinking, and what was that? Did they have another ship? Did the Japanese build a ship? They might have. Attrition losses, very good. Locating, so yeah. So that means it will be our turn very soon. Wilhelm Gustloff is sunk, one of the worst naval sinkings in the history. The history? In history. Or in the history of the Second World War, see. Right, calculating supplies, so it is our turn soon. There we go. Some intel. Okay, good to know that there are people in Copenhagen and Prague. And here we go. So more troops for us. So let's actually start out by moving Leclerc's troops towards Paris. I think that is just proper and due. So that is what we're going to do over here. You can probably attack these German bombs. You should probably isolate that brigade. Yeah, just destroy the V-Waffen, I think is a good approach over here. Over here Brussels should also be liberated, I believe. And some of these forces, I mean, let's drive towards Dresden so that we get a secondary supply depot and we can advance on Berlin from the south. I'm also going to capture Mannheim. Strasbourg, whatever that is, and Metz en Massy. Let's take Metz so that these guys can't be evacuated easily. And we're gonna attack them, hopefully clearing out Luxembourg at some point. Nice, good results over there. And well, I guess the UK troops over here can come up as well towards... Yeah, okay, let's do over here. Attack Luxembourg. Okay, no point. Then Brussels. Our tanks doing a very good job over there. And then cutting off Luxembourg. And that should be fine. Meanwhile, our Royal Marines will move due west. Mechanized forces can cut down here towards the south. And we didn't capture these resources. That's a little bit unfortunate. Gonna bring in these guys from the Ardennes towards Luxembourg. And since we are at it, let's just finish them off. Because I would really like to liberate Luxembourg. There we go. Right. Everyone else over here is fine. You can actually move up further. So let's do so. You did move out, so that's fine. That does leave our Sudanese forces, which can move on towards Leipzig. And then our actual drive towards Berlin. So I'm guessing the artillery should be moved over there. There is bad weather over here. But we could, don't we have carriers? I thought we had carriers, right? Yeah. Bring over here. And what do we want to strike? Okay, let's move this way so that we can capture Stettin. And we can attack the headquarter. I don't think we'll be able to do too much damage towards Berlin itself. And indeed, we should be mindful of this down here, of the Aurora rocket artillery. So in that regard, let's actually come back over here. Contact, okay, interesting. And try to decimate their rocket artillery. Via direct attack, okay, that's alright. Move up the engineers, they won't be able to do much in terms of damage. But they will be here, and that's going to be okay. You can actually capture these resources. So that's fine. Belgium will be freed up soon enough. Then we can continue our drive from the south down here. So let's advance on Prague via Brno. Decent attack. Not critical. You have actually supply though. That's interesting. And can't we support this attack by some bombers or something? Nice. The morale of these troops is extremely low. And then again, nearly all of the morale is low. Tactical bombers. Come on. Oh well. Let's try to cross the Alps over here. Bring in these troops. The troops in Budapest certainly should be able at least to kill this headquarter. And advance towards the north. The troops in Budapest will do likewise. Zagreb troops. Okay, let's start out in the south then and try to see what we can do. So firstly, can we take out this army up here? Yes, we can. Nice. Let's move up here. Decent attack. Move back, bring you in. Kill these guys. Nice. Good national morale boost as well. Light tanks that can come up over here. Honestly, the Algerians are not the most useful troops for us in this playthrough. Right. let's advance everyone up. I don't think there's a lot you need to do. Maybe a couple of attacks here and there. And these Romanians likewise can advance up there. The Soviets can attack Debrecen successfully. Capture that. So surrounded, okay. That actually goes to the US, that's interesting. So no enemy troops down, well, some down here. Okay. That's fine then. Under these circumstances, I think I'm going to bring up these tanks. Throughout Brno and Prague potentially. Right, yeah, that's alright. And down here, some reinforcements still needed. These Marines, yeah, I think what I want is these guys to be preparing for potential power drop into this area. And then all of these guys down here will simply come up and sort of support these types of attacks. Artillery and AA. Why not? Carrier not doing much for us, but then again it's not its primary job, so sort of to be expected. I guess our fighters can move up to Nuremberg so that we are closer to covering the enemy terrain over there. And likewise we are going to move our UK fighters onto the continent. Well, fighters and all other types of aircraft really. You can't do anything now, but that means you can be upgraded to longer range aircraft. And we still see enemy troops in con. So there's still no point landing our Canadians. We'll have to see about that. Good. Let's upgrade you. Let's reinforce you. That's alright. And up here, well, we can transport. We should actually do that. So transport these guys from Oslo. Bring them in over here. Into Stettin. Move up, attack. So that UK forces are actually taking Berlin and not the Soviets. Which I think they would appreciate. The Brits, actually, not the Soviets. Good. Right. So far so good. Anyone else here needs reinforcements or anything? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. Any American troops? Yeah, some tanks. Which we are going to send towards Northern Europe instead of the Mediterranean. For change. Not usually the case. And then, ooh, there are some more paratroopers over here. So yeah, let's just simply land them in Genoa as well. That should be fine. Good, there we go. Okay, I think this is a very good turn for the Western Allies. Let's look at the Soviets. I think we moved quite a couple of these. Okay, let's just drive through Poland as quickly as possible. While of course mopping up these Germans that are left behind. Oh, well, let's actually start out somewhat more thoroughly up in the north over here. I would like to take the harbour, but maybe that's not quite possible. Nice. A little bit more so-so attack. Some of them actually really bad. Yeah, just isolating these pockets and just trying to mob them up. Some of them actually have kind of high morale. And you actually have good supply because you're in Warsaw. Which does count as a supply objective. I guess that's because otherwise you would be sort of limited as the Polish defender. You're very, very entrenched. Don't we have tactical bombers and stuff? Yeah, we do. So that should de-entrench them. It should make it a little bit easier to attack. Just a little bit though. Still. We're starting to have a little bit of an impact over here. So that is good. Well, you can move over here, and then we can bring in these armored tanks. Udun is really entrenched as well. Surprisingly strongly. Okay, no one else here can attack. That is appreciated. Good. So let's bring the heavy tanks down here. Allenstein might fall at some point soon. Yes, there we go. Can we get Breslau? Not quite, but nearly. Well, I say that and then... Okay, good result. You probably need to force march or something. Ooh, we can upgrade our fighters. Finally. Took them long enough. And yeah, just march sort of everyone towards that direction. I'm not going to even bother with the details. Yeah, should be fine though. You're also very entrenched down there in Belgrade. Good. Right, so far so good. Germany really just is slimmer now. You starting to see a collapse on the French front as well. So very happy about these results. Copenhagen we are ignoring for the second, and some of these mob up operations as well, to be honest. Right. Still, I think we are very close to conquering the enemy over there. Yeah, really everything is done over here, so fine. We don't really need the AA anymore, but good. Okay, let's look at Japan. So, firstly, got to reinforce... Why only so little, though? What's our supply like? 5, 7, 3. That's horrible. Okay, but the supply is a little bit better down here, so what we actually need to do is bring you guys down here. So that we can make some impression over there. That was a very good attack. You can come back now, you can go to the front, to attack. Right, yeah, so starting to push these guys back in the south, which will reduce national morale a little, so that's fine. Over here... Oh, I can attack exactly once, is that it? Looks like it. Ah. And see how many landing casualties it suffered. try to bring them down as much as possible. I just primarily want to know whether it's viable at all to attack these kinds of places where there's just one field and then one enemy. Okay, that's fine. Unit to be upgraded. Better fighters, better... Fine. Good. Everything else alright over here? Yeah, looks like everything else is fine as well. So, that indeed we could think about. Oh. Bring more fighters, bombers down there. Alright. Yeah, but how are we gonna do that? I mean, this attack is just really... They'll simply reinforce that. I mean, they can. They still have 5 supplies. And I don't think that it's a difference if I place a lot of units around the port. But we'll see. Maybe it does. Maybe there is a slight difference. I don't think you can get down here, can you? Is there still that AA brigade? No. Just a field. Well, I guess you can capture a field. Next turn. Good. Right. Good. So, happy about the turn, happy about the situation in most countries really. I think Germany will soon fall. I really wonder what will happen when we capture Paris. I do expect that there will be some sort of thing going on. Ooh, didn't we want to, by the way, check... Is that India? Japan? Does Japan have shipping? Didn't we see something being shipped over here? Well, no, but what I do see is this supply line. And raiding supply lines lowers national morale of the enemy. So if we can raid, that should mean that they are losing a little bit in supplies and in national morale. And I would be very happy about that, because that would mean that they might give up without us invading, and that would be so welcome. Oh, we do have more troops down here. Heavy artillery, India. Oh, I think I forgot to move these guys last turn. They are supposed to come to Greece, aren't they? And you too. And the army. Fine. There we go. Good. So, that I think settles the situation for most of Europe. So, very much looking forward to the next couple of turns. I think maybe 2 turns. So, I think very much before 1940, before summer 1940, Berlin will have fallen. So, until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.